All right, everybody. I hope you can see me. We're doing something new with this webinar. We're getting video introduced. I want to see if Luke is there and can jump on here real quick.
Yeah, we'll see if I'm technology savvy enough to get my video to come on.
There we go.
There we go.
All right. Welcome, everybody. Oh, man, we are so excited to be talking to all of you today. We're excited to be talking to anybody these days. But thank you so much for joining. I know a lot of you have been getting some communication and some notes from us about our social media shares premium. So we're going to be showing you how to use that today. We are separate. Luke and I are quarantined. We're not in the same
We're way more than 6 feet apart. The state paid house over here.
Yeah, it's been hard. But again, a lot of clients on the line. As a matter of fact, if you're on this webinar and not a client, go ahead and type your name into the Q&A box there. I'm curious to know, just so I know how to tailor the training later on, because we're actually going to be going through a demo of the Social Media Shares Premium, which you all have for free right now. And just to clear up any communication, this is not going to auto renew. This is something that we are doing special for you guys during this crisis so that you have some extra tools in your toolbox to be able to use to connect with clients. And that's what we're going to be walking through today. It will not auto renew after May 31st. We want you to use it. We want you to see the value in it and continue using it after May 31st. But just so that everybody is aware, this is free for right now from us, from Luke. Luke wanted to do this for all of our clients to make sure that we are providing as much value and showing you guys that we care and we know what you're going through right now as we're all going through it. But anytime we get to do a webinar like this for our clients, it's exciting because Luke and I are so grateful for your business, for the trust that you've placed in us and the trust that you've placed in the rest of the team. We are a staff of about 200 plus people, and we are still fully staffed. So we've moved everybody, all 200 plus employees, working remote right now, continuing to provide as much support, the same support, 100% of it, that we've been providing all along. With that said, I will say that call times might be increasing with people calling in, asking about some of the way that the products are changing, which we're going to go through right now, making changes to their mailing list or their letters right now during this time. So I would encourage people, if you're experiencing high wait times, don't be discouraged. Use our online chat. So go to remindermedia.com, or you can go in your account interface. It's the same chat, it's the same staff that's answering that always has been. And you can also contact us via email, which is clientsuccess@remindermedia.com. If you have your rep's email, you can keep using that. If you have an old email like customerservice@remindermedia, you can keep using that. But for anyone who doesn't have us in their address book, use clientsuccess@remindermedia.com. So with all that said, just wanted to kind of, as people were jumping on, as a matter of fact, if you are jumping on right now, let me know that you can hear me. Type in your name and where you're from in the Q&A box. There should be a button at the bottom that says Q&A. I see Carl from New Jersey. We've got Ray from Boxwood Realty. We got Maria on. We've got Rebecca from Elk Ridge, Maryland. Anna from Fort Worth. Natasha from Riverton. So tons of people. Oh my, tons of people chatting in. This is awesome. Tani from Tallis. Lynn from NorCal. All right, man, it's got to be beautiful. It's getting a little better out here in Philadelphia, Luke, right?
It's not bad.
It's getting a little better.
Chilly. A little chilly today. I mean, it was doom and gloom for a couple of days this week, man. But it feels doom and gloom when you're like always alone and you're never getting out anywhere. It feels like doom and gloom all the time. It's weird.
Well, I just wanted to point out resources for everybody. All of these resources are free for you as a client. If you go into your account manager, at the bottom of your menu on the left-hand side, you'll see that resources tab. We've got ebooks that are more general sales and marketing best practices. We've got success guides that are actually, these are ebooks that are specifically about our product and how to make the most use of our product. So if you're sending out American Lifestyle Magazine or Start Healthy Magazine, and that's all you've done is send it out and hoped and gotten the calls and the feedback from your clients. These are actual guides that will help you be proactive with these tools in reaching out to your clients and how to use them more effectively. One of the most cool resources that we provide, and most popular, I guess I should say, are these free printables. People tend to eat these things up, no pun intended, as the first one on the page is Easter treats for your favorite yolks. But these are just fun things that you can actually print out. They're PDFs you can download. You can print them out on your home computer, on regular paper, or on nice cardstock. And just, these are nice things that you can hand out to your clients. Obviously, right now, you won't be handing them out in person, but you can drop them off in mailboxes. You can use these and save them for whenever we are interacting socially again. But I feel like every day our creative team is coming up with new fun ideas for these printables that are both timely and evergreen. And then our best piece of content, at least according to me and Luke, but we might be a little bit biased. This is our podcast that we do every week. We've started doing them every twice a week now, but they come out every Monday. We're interviewing thought leaders and coaches across the industry. You see, we've had Tom Ferry on there recently. We just got a chance to talk to Ricky Carruth on Tuesday, and we put the podcast up on Thursday because we wanted to know what this guy has been doing during this whole crisis. And he says that he has been on the phone 8 hours a day calling every single person he knows in his contact or his database of contacts, just letting them know that he's here. He understands what's going on. He cares, and just making sure that he's touching base with all of his clients during this time. And that's something that we should all be doing. So with that, we're going to dig into the meat of this webinar, which is
I will
all
tell
about
you
using
guys,
our digital tools.
Pull out your phones right now, because we're going to talk about obviously social media, but I want you guys to start. If you're not already following ReminderMedia on social media, pull out your phone. All of you are probably on Instagram. You're probably on Facebook. Pull out your phone, find @ReminderMedia and follow, because we try to give a lot of the resources. The podcast you can follow @StayPaid Podcast. So we have an Instagram channel there that you can follow as well. And we're trying to, give you guys as much value as possible. A lot of the podcast came out of a passion project of Josh and I. It's just, we've been at this for a really long time now. ReminderMedia has existed for 16 years, right, Josh? 16 years?
Yeah,
so,
coming up in
16 years we're at. And, what we have found over the years, we've had the privilege of working with 80,000 plus small business owners, salespeople, entrepreneurs. And we have found that one of the biggest pain points in our industry in real estate, but we saw it transcend because we've been blessed to be able to work in 160 different industries. And the main pain point we saw was people not taking action. It was like, as I kept talking to business owners and coaching people, it was like they knew they had the head smarts, but it didn't translate out of them. It like did the execution. They didn't go and act on what they learned. And so Josh and I kept thinking, what else can we do to try to get people to take action? Hence why you guys have probably seen our social media over the last couple of years really intensify, because we want to try to bring actionable items to you. And then the podcast is all about taking action. Today's webinar is to try to get you to take action, especially during this time, because now more than ever, I've been talking to agents nonstop. Like, I've been on the phones myself trying to do one for my sales team. So one tangent tip I would give you is that if you have sales teams right now, if you're a broker owner or someone that's a manager and you manage people, you should be in the trench with your people right now, experiencing what they're experiencing, not just managing from on high. So I have a sales team of about 100 people, a little over 100 people on the phones. And I've been calling to get a feel for what's going on, but I've also been talking to top producers. And the common theme I'm hearing over and over again, and I think it's really said well in the Warren Buffett quote, which is, when everybody's fearful, that's your time to be greedy. Warren Buffett would always talk about how when everybody's greedy, when everybody's running towards investing in the market in a certain stock or a company or whatever it is, he'd be really fearful of that. But when everybody is fearful, that's when he runs towards the market. That's when he invests. And that really translates to what we're seeing today. And Josh and I have been talking about this a ton, is that now is the time more than ever that you triple down on your outreach. You triple down. Now you're stuck at home, probably in isolation like we are. You're stuck in quarantine. You can't get out, but it doesn't mean you can't contact people. And the reason why we're doing the digital and the reason why we're giving it to free for all of our clients, because we want you to be doubling down and taking advantage of that. Whatever you do, please, please, please do not stick your head in the sand. Whatever you do, I talked to someone today and they just have frozen. And I was like, well, do you plan to be in real estate in June and July and August? And their answer was, yeah, of course. I said, well, why would you stop? Why would you stop right now and pause and wait for the world to tell you what to do? Why not go on the offensive? Go on the offensive when it's a time of war. If you guys read leadership books, in times of war, you really have to change your style of leadership, and you have to get a lot more aggressive and a lot more offensive in your nature and not defensive, and really stay attention to the details. And that's what this webinar is hopefully going to encourage you guys to do today, is take advantage of our digital stuff to start going on the proactive outreach. What we're going to cover is what should you be doing right now to stay top of mind? How do you use social media? Why is the best time now to use social media? I think it's kind of obvious, honestly. We're all stuck in our homes, but everybody has a phone. Everybody's on their phone constantly. And then what are the ideas that we're seeing that agents are doing that's kind of out of the box? So we want to think a little out of the box today. We got to be creative. Times are changing. What we want to focus on first is this concept of staying top of mind. And Josh and I, as we have kind of talked to industry leaders, we've talked to our clients, we have a lot of top producers that we get to talk to. We've really come up with a three-pronged approach that you should be implementing in your outreach right now. And this is the way kind of we see it. And we're going to then walk you through kind of the demo of the tools to apply it to these outreach. But I think it's good to understand what you should be taking action on and how you should be taking action. And then we're going to give you the tools to do that. This three-pronged approach is we're labeling care, educate, and close. The first thing you must do today is you must show your clients you care about them. Whatever you do, do not reach out to your clients and try to sell them stuff right now. That's not what you want to do. You don't want to reach out and try to sell them stuff, try to educate them even yet on what the interest rates in the market's. Not that education is bad, because education is the second phase. It's just everything's so in flux. The first thing they need to know is that you care about them. And what we want you to do when you're caring about them, it's really as simple as, we mentioned Ricky Carruth, and Josh and I interviewed him on Tuesday. He was saying he's 8 hours on the phone a day, and those 8 hours of calls, you know what he's doing? He's simply just calling to check in and be, what did he say, Josh? He said he wants to be the agent known as the agent. And
well, he wants to be the agent that called you during the pandemic.
Right. He wants to be known, as the agent that reached out to you during the pandemic, that literally they'll remember that Ricky reached out to me during the pandemic, and he wants to make sure that's seared into his client's mind. So he's spending 8 hours on the phone every day reaching out to his sphere. So the question for all of us right now is, have you called everybody in your database?
And this is someone who's doing, if you're not following Ricky, he's got the Zero to Diamond course. He is a coach, but he does free coaching. And he's doing over 100 transactions a year by himself as a solo agent. So what he's preaching and what he's coaching, there's a lot of results to back that up.
No, yeah, I mean, this guy, and he gives all the stuff away for free. It's amazing. I love this guy. But it's the idea here is just you're reaching out and you're showing people that you care, and you're literally just calling them, checking in on them. And the action item is, have you gone through your database right now? We're all spending time on the webinar, sharpening our soul, as Stephen Covey would say, education, learning and self-developing ourselves, which I think is phenomenal. Have you reached out to your clients? Have you looked at your database right now and gone, who have I not reached out to yet? And go through your whole database, your whole prospect list, and then really open up your Rolodex in your phone and start texting people and reaching out. And when you reach out, you can really just reach out with a simple, hey, I'm here for you. Do you need anything? We're going to get into some ideas that we're seeing agents doing. But Josh, show them some of the resources that we have in order to help them, because I know a lot of people are scared.
Sure, yeah. Well, coming up next week, we're going to have some follow-up scripts, and these are just things that you can use as you're reaching out to your clients or anyone in your database, and just letting them know that you care, that you're connecting with them. And I think Tom Ferry says it best, where he goes, I'm here for you. What do you want to do? Hello, I appreciate you. I'm here for you. What do you want to do? And again, it's not about the ask. Like, that's not where we're at right now. That's not the point. But it's letting them know that you're available. And we have a lot of other resources that will show up on the educational side once we get to that point. But these are going to be going out next week to everybody. And we would love to hear your feedback. If there's anything else that you guys need right now, please let us know. Make sure to, Luke said, follow us on social media. Get on Reminder Media. Join the Reminder Media Client Toolkit. So that's a group that we have. If you're on Facebook and you just search Reminder Media Client Toolkit, you'll find that as a group. So that's just for our clients. You can join that, ask any questions there, but you can always contact me or Luke. You can reach us at hello@remindermedia.com, or you can find Luke on Instagram at Luke Acree. You can find me on Instagram at Josh Stike, and we would love to hear what you guys need.
I actually want to read because I think this is a great time. A lot of you on the line obviously use our magazine, if not most of you. on the line. This is a perfect opportunity to reach out and call your clients based upon the magazine. Because the magazine, one of the key things that has been different about it over the years is that it really isn't salesy. It's not, truly trying to push just product on someone or something like that. It's more a gift. It's just something that your clients will enjoy. I had a client email me. I posted on my Instagram. If you guys follow me at Luke Acree, I'll read you this email because I think it's a great action item for everybody on. But the person said, on a positive note, now that we are all spending much more time at home with no sports or live shows on TV and restaurants are closed, people are reading more. I've been calling my past clients to check in on them. During the conversation, I asked them if they've tried any of the recipes in the last issue of American Lifestyle magazine. I tell them which ones we've added into our rotation and tell them to watch out for the next issue to arrive in the next couple of weeks. There are some amazing recipes I'm sure they will want to try. The response has been overwhelming, exclamation point. I picked up 2 leads and never had to change out of my basketball shorts. Then he says, winner, winner, brown butter, lobster roll dinner. Keep up the good work, which is the recipe he was calling his clients about. But it's a perfect action item for all of you who have the magazine being delivered to your clients right now, where you can actually call them based upon a recipe that was in the magazine, because you're really calling to check in on them and you're calling to really give them something that they would value, that they would enjoy, things to do. You're going to see this in the social media content that we talk about. After you show everybody you care, that leads you to the next phase, and maybe you call it the funnel or the next phase of the approach, which is the education phase. And one of the things I've been encouraging people about in this market shift that we're in is the market shift really is not led by the housing market right now. So if you remember 2008, and we made it through 2008 as a company, and those were hard times for people. Not every agent survived 2008. The ones who survived that we saw are the ones that doubled down on reaching out to their sphere, that doubled down. And these are things we're preaching to ourselves right now. Like our marketing spend, we've actually increased our marketing spend. So you guys know, just as a company, so we're trying to practice the same things we're teaching you to do. But one of the things that you want to do is you want to know that, hey, look, this is not necessarily led by the housing market. So there's going to be a ton of opportunity when you come out of this, and when we shift, whether that's in June, whether that's later, none of us know. God willing, it's sooner rather than later. But there's going to be a ton of opportunity for you to capitalize, because there are people that are going to be hurting at the end of this shift. There's going to be a lot of people that we know that have lost their jobs, that are going to be in financial hardship situations. And guess what? Not only did you show them you care, you can now be a resource for them. And so what I'm encouraging agents to do, and we're preparing content and going to be working with you guys to be able to help educate your community, your sphere, on the options that are available to them. So after you come out of this, one of the things you want to prepare for is you want to prepare to educate people not only, hey, what are the mortgage rates going to be? Because maybe someone could refinance their home and get a lower mortgage payment. But there's going to be people who maybe need to downsize based upon what's happened, based upon their losing their job. And you can be a trusted advisor for them, a resource for them to help them get out of that predicament. Not only that, an action item I would give is get all of your old buyer leads. Spend this time when you're stuck in your house and you have your CRM, get every old buyer lead that you've ever had, anybody that's commented on a Facebook ad that you've run, whatever it is, you know what I'm talking about. There's so many old buyer leads that maybe you haven't consistently reached out to, and start reaching out to those people, especially to check in on them, get your name brand in front of them, because when we come out of this, it's probably going to be a great time to buy. Not only that, your investors. So I invest in real estate myself. I love real estate. Not only I love working with real estate agents, I love buying real estate. I invest in real estate myself. I know myself, and I have a lot of investor friends that they're preparing. They're preparing that, hey, there's going to be a lot of opportunity that comes out of this shift. And so you need to be in front of me now, and you need to be touching me now. And I'm going to give you a perfect example of what it means to show that you care and to go above and beyond, because it's happening in my own business. So right now, all of you have maybe heard of this PPP loan, this CARES Act loan, which is part of the stimulus package. And part of the stimulus package, what they're doing is they're trying to provide a way for small businesses to get loans to help them make it through, whether it's through payroll, your utilities, your rent. And guess what? Our payroll system that we use a company called Paylocity. I'll give them a shout out. Our payroll system that we used, they went above and beyond made all the reports we would already need in order, if we wanted to, as Reminder Media, to submit and apply for this loan. They've made all that. And I talked to my chief operating officer today, and I asked him, I said, hey man, I just got a question for you. How do you feel about Paylocity right now? And it was like, oh my goodness, like I would never want to leave them. And it was a simple act of thinking ahead, and they did all this work for us that we wouldn't have to do if we wanted to go down that route. You should be thinking right now, how do I do that for the investors in my book of business, the buyers in my book of business? The people are going to want to know about the opportunities. So your next phase is the education. And if you think about it from the terms of know, like, and trust, this is really just the same way of building that know, like, and trust funnel. It's you show them you care. You show them you're here for them. You're not trying to sell them anything. You're providing value to them. Then you get them into the education, which is getting into that trust factor of putting yourself as the trusted advisor, because the people are going to use the agent they trust. And the way to do that is to prepare on, hey, I'm going to care, but now I'm going to start educating people on what their options are out there. And then last but not least, well, okay, I'm jumping ahead of myself because I'm getting to the close. Josh, I'll let you talk about the resource.
No, that's awesome. It's fantastic. I don't want to interrupt you here, but hey, we actually, our content team put together a resource page for all of you during this time. If you go to remindermedia.com, at the top, you'll see a link that says COVID-19 resources. You can see the URL directly there on the screen as well, remindermedia.com/COVID-19 resources. This is really our hub for all of the news and anything that's coming out right now, whether it impacts the products or it impacts what's going on in the market. There's a letter from Luke there. You have links to some of our blogs that we've posted just in terms of a company update. We also did a podcast a couple weeks ago, just as an update, or I guess last week at this point. All of the days have officially blurred together, but last week that we put up, and we're trying to put out more of those podcasts. So as we get more leaders on, we're actually going to have your brother on the podcast, Luke, if you've been following Luke's story and his brother's story and what he's doing right now during this crisis. So we're going to interview him. That'll go up there as well. And then we have articles and blogs that you can then share with your clients. And that's how we're going to show you how to share those as branded blog posts later on whenever we demo the social media shares premium feature.
So we'll get to that here next, but what I want to make sure you guys know in the funnel, and there's some people out there that will probably disagree with this statement, but I am such a firm believer in the asking for referrals. You're going to hear some, trainers out there say you shouldn't ask for referrals because you're going to get bad referrals, or you make people feel awkward. The reason why I disagree with that, and I believe that you have to first care, educate, and then ask for the close, is if you don't ask, you don't receive. But asking, what I always believe is it plants the seed. And what I think people underestimate about asking for business and asking for referrals and asking for the order is I think they underestimate what it means to plant a seed in someone's mind, and that it actually affects so much the nurturing you then do. It doesn't mean that you're always going to get a referral when you ask. It doesn't mean you're always going to get business. But it definitely adds clarity for that person in your database, that client, that prospect, of your intention and what you want and what helps you. And if you've done an incredible job at the caring and about the education, meaning the give before you ask, people want to reciprocate. It's that reciprocity that they're going to want to reciprocate. And if you train them, and when you ask, hey, this is what I'm looking for, that's going to plant the seed in their mind. And so what's critical as you go through this phase is after you reach out and care, which you should be doing right now, reaching out to your whole database multiple times. If you have a smaller database, if you have a huge database, you might not be able to get through them multiple times, but multiple times, providing value, what we're about to go through, then educate, and then go in. And your job then at that point is to follow up to the content you've been giving. And you can intro in by literally going, hey, wanted to make sure you saw this piece of content, wanted to make sure you saw what the market's doing, wanted to see if you had any questions, and if there's anything I could do to help you right now. If you were looking for anything in real estate, if you wanted to know your options, if you wanted to get a free comparative market analysis of what your house is worth right now, going in and asking based upon your funnel that you've now done plants that seed. And then even more important than that, where so many agents that I talk to, they go, well, Luke, I know the 100 people in my database aren't ready to buy. Yeah, but do you know that the National Association of Realtors says they know 3 to 5 people on average a year that are going to need a real estate agent? And so you're not just calling and asking for the sake of, is the 100 in your database looking to buy? Is the 60 that you're sending a magazine looking to buy? You're calling to go, hey, do you know anybody that I can introduce myself to that you believe maybe I could be a service to, that I could help? And you can use the content. Hey, I'd love to get them the information I'm giving you. That's one of your reasons of asking. And I always, when I share with people of how you should ask, is I believe, and I'm a strong believer in people want to be a part of your journey. So sharing with them, hey, you know, I have a lofty goal. I'm trying to help as many people as I can this year. I'm trying to help 25 new families this year. And, you know, I obviously want to be a service to the community. As I think of my clients, you know, Josh, you're one of my best clients. And if I just had so many people like you in my business would be unbelievable. So do you have any friends or family that I could reach out to, introduce myself to, be a service to? And even if they don't know somebody right then, even say that to them. Hey, look, they might not be looking right today, but you know, maybe they need a real estate agent, or they don't have a real estate agent, they need an advisor. What you've done is you've planted the seed in that person's mind. And when you call back the 3rd time, the 2nd time, the 4th time, whatever it is, they know you need referrals. Now it's way more likely when they go back to church and they're at church and the conversation of real estate pops up, whose name's going to pop in their mind? Not only Luke Acree, the person who's sitting on their coffee table, but Luke Acree, the one that's built a relationship, that's asked them, do you know anybody? In the barbecue, whether you're at the bar, whatever it is, those social things that we're going to get back to, where the conversation, the Zoom happy hours, because we're going to talk about a Zoom happy hour. The Zoom happy hours, when those conversations pop up, you're the one that's going to pop in their mind so much more because you planted that seed. And I cannot advocate that enough, that if you don't ask, you don't receive. And so I would gear up to go, hey, I'm going to care, I'm going to educate, and then I'm going to call and ask. I'm going to call and ask, and it's as simple as asking. It's not going to hurt anything. And then from there, obviously, you put them into the funnel. And what should that funnel be? That funnel should be care, educate, close. It's the same funnel you put that referral through when you get that referral. So let's talk about digital, how you can do that with digital. Let's show you some of the products to show you.
Well, hey, before we jump into that, I just want to answer a couple questions that we've been getting in. So Nina asked, you are giving some great information. Thanks, Nina. Is this being recorded? I need to review again. Yes, we will be sending out the recording probably on Monday, because of the Zoom has to process and get the video ready and everything. And then we've got to get people to send it out. So that should be going out by Monday. And then Gene asked, what is Ricky's last name again? So Ricky's last name is Caruth, C-A-R-U-T-H. He also totals on Tuesday that if you search Ricky C on any platform, he will show up. So let's put that to the test.
He's on TikTok now too. How many of you guys are on TikTok? Chat in if you're on TikTok. I want to know how many real estate agents are on TikTok. I gotta get on TikTok. I mean, that place.
But hey, like we said, all of his coaching is free. We love working with him because his quote is real estate or relationships over transactions, right? Value the relationship over the transaction. That's something that we're preaching every day. If you do check him out, make sure to let him know that ReminderMedia, let him know Luke and Josh sent you over there, so that he knows that you guys are listening to what he's saying and hopefully following along as well. So what we wanted to kind of get into about with the digital is, look, Casey Newton from TheVerge.com, this quote came out: with warnings to stay home and avoid being in groups, people are going to need somewhere to go that's not the coronavirus, and virtual spaces will be all they have for a while. And that's just the reality of it. Social media use is off the charts right now. Total internet hits have surged 50 to 70%. Streaming has jumped by 12%. And so that's really why this is the best opportunity to use digital products to connect. People are consuming more content right now than ever online. And again, it's not just about throwing noise or throwing more posts at people or throwing more. I mean, the memes are great. Don't stop the memes, because you definitely want to share the memes. Luke mentioned TikTok. That's probably the primary source of entertainment for me right now, is just getting on there and looking what people are doing during the coronavirus. But it's also about the value. So people are looking for things to keep their kids busy while they're home from school. They're looking for things to improve their home life, right? A lot of people are doing organization projects and spring cleaning a little bit early here because they have more time in the home. And then also staying active, staying healthy. We can't go to the gyms. Might be a little bit more tempting to snack now, since we're spending so much time in our homes. So we have a lot of like workout tips and other posts that we'll go over with you guys. But that's the kind of stuff that people are looking for right now, which is why we've made this social media shares premium for free.
You know, what's interesting, it's like, I never knew, guys, how, because I go to the gym, or I used to go to the gym every morning, and not since it's been shut down. Body weight exercises are insanely difficult. Like, I thought I was in shape with weightlifting and stuff, but body weight exercises are insanely difficult. What we're doing in the social media shares premium, and what I'm having a lot of my agents take advantage of, is everybody's trying to figure out how to exercise at home. And Josh is going to show you this when he gets into the demo of this. We've made a whole category for staying at home. So things that they can do, like Josh said, with their kids. So I'll tell you, make a joke, make you guys laugh a little bit, but it's true. It's every agent that I seem to be talking to, or at least every other one, is telling their kids to shut up in the background. It's pretty funny when I'm calling them. But the point being is, there's craft ideas, there's DIY tips in there that you can give. There's things that they can do with their kids, games, scavenger hunts, content that is relevant for what they're going through. And the same with the workout tips. And what's key here for like the social media shares, and the tangible tip I would give you is, most of you should have a Facebook business page. If you don't, we have resources that can help you set that up. It's really simple. You should. But what I would caution you about Facebook business pages is that Facebook is not favoring them. And it's hard. The chances of your content being seen on your Facebook business page is a lot less than your personal profile. And so I would encourage, and what I'm encouraging my agents to do, is dedicate like 10 minutes every day, get into this social media shares premium, and take a couple of your friends specifically off your database and go to their specific wall and post on their specific wall, whether it's a workout exercise. And this is where it gets, you should know in your business, do I know about my clients? This is why it's so critical to know about your clients, their likes, their interests, their hobbies. This is what I train on all the time. I label it in the Ford method: family, occupation, recreation, dreams. You need to know those 4 pillars on your clients, because that's going to allow you to do relevant information to them that's applicable to what they're going through or what they like. So for someone like me, who exercises and likes that, and my wife, and we're doing these at-home exercises together, you could go to our wall and go, Luke and Megan, thinking about you guys, hope you're staying safe, thought you would enjoy this exercise or this fitness routine done at home. Let me know if you try it. I tried it the other day, man, it kicked my butt. Like those type of things, that messaging is so powerful. And the same, obviously, if you take that content, because Josh will show you, it's your own landing page, you could text it to somebody, right? So it's something that you can not only do through social, but what I'm trying to get at when it comes to social and content, the more personal you can make it, the better. Obviously, you can't go and write on 100 people's wall every day, but you can do 5. You can do, who was it? It was Sean Carpenter's 4 highs or something like that, Josh, that he talked about on the podcast, that type of idea.
Yeah, so it's 4 H's, and one of those H's being high fives.
So where you
the idea of going to your clients or people in your database, using that as an opportunity to send a message via Facebook, send a text message, any sort of just outreach saying, hey, I'm thinking about you.
And I would encourage you, don't miss out on LinkedIn, because I'm even seeing this on my LinkedIn. LinkedIn's organic reach right now is so much better than Facebook's, so much better. Yeah. And so don't be afraid to post this type of content on LinkedIn. LinkedIn, people think business. Why do you think business? Because you've been told it's business, right? So LinkedIn is more geared towards business, but it doesn't mean that the people on LinkedIn wouldn't want to see a fitness tip or something like that. And so if you do it strategically, it actually might even stand out more in that content. So just something to think about.
So if anyone is on the line and has been using our local content emails, these were local events that you could actually send out to your client list. This is your email client list. You could also share these events on social media. We did a webinar back in January when we launched this on January 13th. So hopefully you've tried it out if it's in your market. This is actually a good time to try it out if it's not been in your market, because we have actually adapted. I think our content team, our content manager emailed us over the weekend, emailed Luke and I, and was like, hey, I think we need to change these things up. These events are being canceled. And so she was really super on top of it. And by midweek, we were able to actually change the format of the local event emails, where they're no longer events because all of those are canceled, but now they're actually these content posts, these branded blog posts that will be branded to you. Okay, so it's going to use your contact block that you have there in your local content email, or if you set it up separately in your social media shares, which we'll walk through. And these are 6 to 8 posts, I believe, that will be going out every other week in the same cadence, the same frequency as your local event emails have been going out. And again, it's just a way to provide that value to your client list, to your email list, that you already have set up receiving the local events. Now it will be these branded blog posts. And then of course, we always have the digital edition. So this is really cool because we got this email from Marty with Long and Foster. She said, I got good feedback from clients that received the digital magazine, was a nice respite from the doom and gloom. So again, this is where it's the time to send educational, entertainment, and endearing content out to your clients to let them know you care, but also to do exactly what happened right here with Marty. Her client now thinks better of Marty today than she did yesterday because Marty sent them something that took them away from the doom and gloom and get like a quick break from the news. I tend to absorb and binge watch YouTube, all of the news and everything as well. But it's nice to be able to get away and find something that's a little bit more entertaining. And quite frankly, I think we're all trying to figure out new recipes now because we've ran out of every possible thing that we can make now that we're making 3 meals at home a day.
You pull out your phone, right, and you text the digital edition of 5. Like if you think about it this way, and I always try to break things down into little tangible bite-sized things that I can do every single day, because I know if I do something every single day over the course of 2 weeks, I've accomplished something bigger. And so it's like the same thing with your digital edition. Not only are you sending out an email, but you can literally pull out your phone, text the digital edition, it comes across as a beautiful picture, not just as an ugly link or something like that. And you can say to somebody, you got to try this. I don't know, what is that on the screen? A brownie, like a chocolate brownie or something like that?
Mississippi mud cake, I think is what it is.
Text that to 5 people. You then comment on 5 people's wall. All of a sudden, you're going to find you're hitting 15 people a day. And then you do that 7 days a week. Like you're starting to hit your whole database with stuff that they care about. You can do more than just a letter in the digital edition. If you wanted to take the time to shoot a video, your marketing coach can show you how to put that video inside your digital edition. So instead of writing a personal letter to your clients, maybe you film a little video that says, hey, thank you guys so much. I hope you're staying safe. Wanted to give you this content so you could have stuff to do. Whatever it is that you want to do, and your marketing coach can kind of coach you through doing that video if you need some ideas. You can put that in your digital edition as well. So there's a lot of creative things you can do to kind of make it tailored to this time.
I want to just jump in and answer some of the questions because they're coming in. We will have Q&A time at the end, but some of these are pretty relevant for the content going on right now. One says, I noticed that the local events for my area in April are showing events that aren't able to be held. Has that since been updated? March's local events were branded blog posts. So just a little bit of clarity on that. We are updating these things, but whenever your email sends and you log in like the next day, unfortunately, it is then going to the local events, but that's just a place. That's what it's defaulting to. The team is working very hard to get those preloaded so that after it sends, they'll be there right away. But for right now, there's a slight delay. So it's going to have the events that would be going out. Those will be replaced by the time your recurrence or your mailing goes out again. So that was a great question.
So your people, your clients won't be getting the local events.
Correct.
But yeah, I can't wait till the local events come back. One, because if you're a people person like me, you're going crazy. But also because the feedback, guys, has been unbelievable on these local events. This was another passion project of Josh and I, is trying to figure out how to do this for so long and do it well, not just get the concerts and the stuff that anybody can Google real quick, but the actual true local event stuff is like the Philly Flea Market or the play at the Walnut Theater, that type of stuff. So I can't wait till it comes back. But right now, your people will be getting branded blog posts that are relevant.
Yes. So I want to make sure we get to this because we have we're about 40 minutes in and we wanted to make this an hour. Luke and I tend to go on a little bit whenever we get into this stuff. But here's our interface, and I just wanted to walk you through. If you have not set up any social media shares posts yet, you can always contact your rep and they can help walk you through it. But some of us don't have time for that. to sit down with somebody and go through. So that's why I wanted to show it here. We are recording this. We will send it out later so that you can do it when you do have time. If you go to your menu and you scroll down on the left-hand side, you'll see a link to social media shares. This is going to drop you right into your library of posts. Okay, this is something we've always provided for free, the social media shares, but they weren't branded to you. They had our logo, our navigation. I think we even have some like Google ads running on the pages there. So we got a lot of feedback and a lot of requests from clients saying, hey, I want these to be branded to me, just like the magazine is branded to you. So we released that a couple months ago. And the team, like I said, has put together a new category right here called Staying Home. So we've collected all of the posts that we already had that were relevant to life at home, and then are continuing to add more. You see there the 6 best delivery apps to download today, because I think the amount of people using DoorDash and Uber Eats and Grubhub has probably significantly increased. But the first thing that we'll show off here is your contact block. So just like the magazine, just like the other products, you can set up your contact block. When I come here to mine, it's going to be a little bit empty here. All we need to do is scroll down where we can choose our headshot. So I've got pictures of my son and my daughter here. I'm going to pick my daughter because, quite frankly, she just makes me look better. So this is what it looks like in a square. You can also turn it to be displayed in a circle, which I kind of like better. So I'll leave it as a circle. You can choose your logo, the logo that's already uploaded in your account. You can choose that. And then for this scenario, even though I'm not a realtor, I will select the realtor and equal housing opportunity logo so you guys can see how that gets displayed there. Contact information, same way. All of this is already set up in my profile. So if you already have your profile and your magazine set up, all of the information will be available to you just to simply select from these drop downs. If I wanted to change the order, I want my address at the bottom. I'll actually start off with my phone number, and then I can simply add the new contact information as these new boxes appear. I can also have a disclaimer on this. So if you do have a disclaimer for your business, you can enter that in. This is a disclaimer. And then I want to make sure I've got my address on here as well. So I'll add that there at the bottom. And then scroll up to see what it looks like. This is a preview of what this will be. This is what will show up on your blog post. We'll also kind of address this button right here, because this is a really cool feature that you can use for lead gen or to build your list as you're sharing these blog posts. So if you click message and contact form, the default message is contact me with any questions. You can change that to whatever you want. You can post whatever message you want in there. You can turn the contact form off. It is on by default, and the recipient of that form is going to be your primary email address by default. You can change that, or you can add a new one right here so that whenever the form submissions go through, they will go to that new email address. You can also change the button text, and this is where you can get really creative. If you're offering something or an item of value right now in your business, let's just say that I'm doing free CMAs, I can choose custom, I can fill this out, let's see, request free CMA, or I could say request a free or schedule an appointment. I could change that to whatever I want, save changes, and then that button text will actually update to that, and then you will be the one that receives all of the form submissions through this button. So then what that looks like on an actual post, we go back to post library. And let's pick, let's say, everyone is working from home. Here's how to do it effectively. We can click that post to preview it. And then right there is my custom contact block. Clicking this button brings up this form, and this will go directly to you, as mentioned. Email address of the sender, name, and then the message is required in that form. And that's it. Like, that is literally as simple as it is. You can then take that link, you can share it on social media, you can put it in an email, you can send it in a text message, which is actually really cool because it'll carry through your branding. So to share on social media, all we have to do is click any one of these buttons. We've got Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Pinterest that will allow you to share it. A lot of people ask about Instagram. Instagram does not have a way to share, because it's a blog post, it requires an image or a video to share. So a lot of people have been simply taking a screenshot of the post, right? Just like that, uploading that to Instagram with a little bit of a caption to maybe visit the link in bio. You can also go to the post itself, download that image, and then upload it to Instagram as an image. And again, just say link in bio, and then in the bio of your Instagram profile, put your link. Make sure that you copy the link from the post itself. So this one right here, make sure you're copying that one. Put that one in your bio, or go to a site like Bitly, bit.ly. It's a link shortener site, so it doesn't put a huge, super long link in your Instagram bio. It'll put a really short, few character URL that you can put in your Instagram bio. But to share on Facebook, for example, we click the Facebook icon. And this is actually, I want to jump ahead a little bit because I want to show you guys another tool that you have at your disposal. After this webinar goes out, we are going to be sending everybody some resources, and here's kind of what the resources look like. But we have social media calendar for American Lifestyle, a calendar for Start Healthy, and then captions for the digital edition. This link right here will download an Excel file. That Excel file then, I'll pull the Excel file up over here, is going to be filled with ideas. So our team actually goes through and says, hey, here's April's calendar. You don't have to think about it. You just have to go through. And if you're using Facebook Business, you can schedule these ahead of time. If you are doing it every day, it's just kind of your daily task. Take 5 minutes a day to share on social media. This is what you can do. So I'm going to use, let's see, I want to do shed versus garage, what goes where, because everybody's organizing. I'm organizing my garage right now. So I copy that caption. I can come over here, find that post, shed versus garage. Share that post on Facebook, paste in my caption, and then I will share this right now. And then if I hop on over to my Facebook page, refresh, you can see that that post is right here. And when I click on it, it goes straight to my branded blog post. Now, the cool thing about this is if people are following you and they share this, it's going to continue having your branded blog post or your branded post right there. If they use any one of these social media icons on the post itself, it will continue to carry all of this branding through, which is really cool.
And the beautiful thing, guys, and I would point out, is when you make that button, that call to action, try to make that relevant also to the content. So when you're sharing tips on how to buy or sell, or you're sharing tips on sprucing up your home and your landscaping, then it makes a lot of sense to have a comparative market analysis type idea. So try to think in relevancy to the actual content you're sharing when you're making that call to action button. There's literally, what, thousands of articles?
There are thousands of blog posts for American Lifestyle. Hundreds, getting pretty close to 1,000 for Start Healthy magazine. There's 128 in the staying home category that was just created for American Lifestyle. And I think the last count was 44 for Start Healthy. But our content team is adding posts to these every single day. I think their goal right now has been 2 of these staying home posts, getting those up on a consistent basis so that you guys have consistent posts to share, relevant posts. I mean, this is everything we do. Like, what we preach is relevancy, right? You have to be relevant in your marketing. Otherwise, you're playing the lottery marketing game, which is just shotgunning out a bunch of stuff, a generic message to a bunch of people that you don't know. But if you're targeted, like Luke was saying, in terms of finding the people on your list that have kids, right? And sharing that 12 easy crafts that you can do at home this month. I'm dying for more ideas for how to keep the kids busy as we're kind of doing their schoolwork and having gym time, making them play outside, and then having those other arts and crafts pieces and more ideas. It's just such a great resource, and people will think of you as they are doing that content, doing those activities with their family. Real quick, go ahead, Luke.
I was just going to say, it truly is the branding. A lot of people think too short-sighted when it comes to content marketing. And what I mean by that is, like, even with like Instagram right now, guys, if you're not doing stories, you should be doing stories. If you're not doing, on Facebook, if you're not going Facebook Lives, you should be going Facebook Lives. Why? It doesn't mean you're going to have the unbelievable best content and you're going to get a ton of views. But guess what? You're going to pop up in certain people's feed. And what you have to think about is they just saw you, and that's now another opportunity where they never were going to see you that day, and they just saw you. And that's one of the keys to this content, is just realizing that one of the reasons why you just want to be posting all the time and doing these Facebook Lives and doing content like this is because every little bit starts building that brand. And there's a reason why people, when they think fast food, think McDonald's, or people, when they think electric cars, think Tesla. There's a reason why, and it has to do with how many times you're hearing that, you're seeing that, and that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to be the Tesla of real estate. When people think real estate, they think you, just like when you think electric cars, you think Tesla.
Yep. And James was asking, how about pet-related articles? So that's why I just navigated here real quick. Under Life and Culture, we have a Family and Pets tab that you can find at. You can also search, and this searches the keywords and the title of the post for pet articles as well. So there you go. If your home is not pet-proofed yet, you have time to do it.
And you want to show on the local content, because I know we probably have a bunch of people that have the local content.
So we have local content. Whenever you first get into local content, it's going to ask you to set up your recurrence. All you do is hit set up recurrence, choose from your recipients. So if you haven't uploaded addresses yet, you would go into your recipients and you can either add them by hand or you can upload a CSV or Excel file. So you just choose that group, click next, choose your reply to address. Again, you can either change it here or you can keep it to your default one, your primary one. You can update the subject. You can make this say whatever you want, and you can update the copy in the email itself. You can make this say whatever you want. Those things don't persist to the next send, right? So if you customize this subject line, it'll only be for your current one that will be going out. It won't be for the next one. You have to go back in there and update that as well. And then it'll show you a preview of it. Tips to make your workout easier. Now, I hadn't set up my contact block because I kind of already showed you guys how to do that on social media shares, and it's the same way. But each one of these articles will then link to a blog post with that is branded for you. And that's, I hate, like, these demos are so crazy, Luke, because like, that's it. That's all you have to do.
Yeah,
you
so why aren't you guys sending?
And it goes out every Thursday, the next Thursday. So this one's scheduled for the next, because it's Friday now, so it's scheduled for Thursday, April 9th. It goes out Thursday mornings around 9 a.m. your local time, and it goes out every other week. And then the last thing I just wanted to touch on as we're coming up on the top of the hour here is the digital edition. So Luke mentioned being able to put video in the digital edition. I wanted to show you guys how to do that because this is such a cool time to be able to connect with your clients on a personal level. It really isn't that difficult. It feels like it's a lot of code, but it really is simply going to shooting a video, uploading it to YouTube or Facebook, and then I'm going to show you right now how to get those embed links. So if you go into your digital edition and choose edit this version, this is where you're going to be able to get to your letter. So if you selected your front cover, your front inside cover picture, and the last page photo, this letter right here, I wrote this as if I was Luke. So this is his brother's story. He convinced him to quit his job and become a real estate agent. And he actually shot a podcast where he interviewed him. So I'm going to go over to YouTube and find that podcast. Oh man, Luke, look how young we look. This was a year ago.
That's what happens, guys, is this job ages you. I don't know what it is.
This is more than a year ago. So this video has been doing pretty well for us. This is Luke's brother's story. So I'm going to click this share button. It's different on Facebook. But click this share button. That's going to bring up this embed icon. So all of my other social media share options, but it also brings up this embed icon. I can choose to start it at a particular time during the video, but I'm just going to start this from the beginning. So I'll leave that unchecked. I click embed. This is the code. Okay. YouTube makes it super simple. Simply click that copy link. You can include the show player controls, which will allow your viewer to move the slider, the time bar there. So I'm going to keep that in there. I've copied this code right here. X out of that, go back to my digital edition. Simply paste that right in there. Click finish. And then whenever I preview this digital edition, that video will now be embedded right into my letter. And so people can play that right from the letter. I don't know that you guys can hear the sound, but that will play, which is super cool. Facebook, same way. You go in here. The only difference is instead of clicking share, you want to find these three dots. So whether you're uploading from your business page or personal page, we have ours on Facebook Watch. Find those three dots, click that, click embed. It'll give you the same code. This time you actually have to click inside of it and click your copy if it's Control-C on a Windows or Command-C on a Mac. And then you would do the exact same thing. You would paste that link into your digital edition, and that video will play straight from your digital book.
And you can share on your digital edition, guys, just in case you don't know, you can share the whole magazine on social, or you can share an individual article. So when you think of your digital edition, it's giving you pieces of content Yeah, and Josh can pull up some, but you know, and it goes out monthly. What we found with the digital is we originally just basically took the 7 articles from the magazine and did it digitally and made it interactive. But we realized really soon after getting a lot of sends, and we have millions of emails now going out, sending the digital edition, we realized that people responded more to less content more frequently on the digital side. And so what we did is we chopped the digital in half. So instead of 7 articles every 2 months, with the digital edition, you get basically 4 articles every month that you get to send out. And then obviously in there, you're going to have things like the recipes and the articles on culture, the travel articles, that type of idea.
Absolutely. And that is, it's that simple.
It really is that
it really is that simple to start getting. And again, you can text all of these. If you copy for the social media post, if you copy that link and text that link out straight from the interface, you can send those, and it looks, again, it shows up with the picture of the post itself. Same with the digital edition, like Luke was saying, it's going to show up like a really nice link through text messaging, emailing, and then of course sharing on social media. So I will hop back over to the Yep.
Yeah, let's go back to the slide. Let's do this think out of the box, and then let's answer some questions real quick for everybody, because I know there's probably some questions there. But here are some of the ideas that we're seeing that I want to make sure you guys are taking advantage of, because, you know, I think now is the time more than ever, obviously, to connect digitally. So some of the ideas that we're seeing a lot of success with, and that almost in a way you're forced to do. Now, I will say this, real estate agents are essential. Right. So I was talking to my brother yesterday. I was like, how you doing, man? He's like, I'm doing great, man. We're an essential business.
That's
I'm essential to people's lives out there. So that's the tact he was taking with people. No, this is essential. I'm essential to your life and to your business. But doing a virtual open house. So we have an Above the Noise episode that maybe we can link to that gives you tips on how to host a virtual open house, like how to do a live open house on Facebook, some tips there. But, you know, this is something that you should be doing, because even if you don't have a ton of attendance on that Facebook Live that you're going and hosting this, you know, Facebook Live open house, at the end of the day, you're getting out in front of people and you're staying active, and more people see your post than comment or like on your post. And just never forget that. You're gonna have a lot more impressions of people seeing it in their feed than the people who react to it. And how much, I mean, you guys are probably just like me, you're scrolling through and you're not liking everything, but it doesn't mean that you're not seeing that person. It's not building that brand. The other thing is a virtual happy hour. Now, I'm ashamed of Josh and I, because we haven't done a virtual happy hour together yet. We should do a virtual happy hour podcast episode.
Maybe everyone on the line wants to stick around after. We'll turn
we're
the
going to do a
cameras on.
virtual happy hour. This is where you just invite all your friends to literally, you know, get together online, and you can host it, and you just get together, check up on everybody. Everybody has their own favorite drink, and it's become extremely popular. And there's a lot of people doing creative stuff. There's a DJ that we learned about from an episode we did with Moses Hall. What was it, DJ Slice or something like that?
I don't remember
Shame on me for not remembering his name. But he started doing DJing every Thursday night. And he grew his following from a couple 100,000 followers on Instagram to over 1 million followers just by doing this, where he's literally DJing on every Thursday night live and going into everybody's home virtually. So you need to be thinking about ways you can do that. I've seen people do that with the home workouts. So think about the content. You grab the content and you use that, and then you basically do a home workout with people. This is why Peloton is so popular in a way, because of the connection that you have with the trainers and the people that you ride around the world with, and comparing stats and stuff. You know, and then
D Nice is the DJ. We're getting some chats in.
D Nice.
D Nice. Yeah.
Okay, D Nice. You can tell I'm a big DJ guy, I guess. I don't know any DJ. Tell them about the one of our clients, how they use the magazine, writing the personal notes, because that was phenomenal. What this lady did.
Yeah, so they actually had, she wrote 50 handwritten notes and combined those with her 50 magazines. And it looks like she pulled from a couple different issues there in this post. You can see this photo right here at the bottom, and took it to, I believe it was a community center that was handing out hot meals, or they were distributing meals to people in need, and they were doing proper social distancing as they were doing this. This was a little bit earlier on in the quarantine, but it was a great opportunity to link yourself with providing value there with the magazine, with a handwritten note that is so valuable now. Like the power of a handwritten note has gone up so much because everything's so digital, and just showing, hey, I'm here, I care, I'm supporting the community. And now that person takes away an item of value, which is a beautiful publication that they can use for leisure and use to read while we're quarantined. And then also they're going to think of her whenever they're looking at that.
Yeah, no, I saw a great quote. I think it was Tom that put this up on his Instagram, was bring the humanity into the insanity. There's a lot of insanity that's happening, and we need the humanity. And I mean, it truly is like, it's not just, a lot of times we tend to, as marketers, we say this stuff so much about connecting and caring and all this stuff that it almost diminishes what it truly is about. But it truly is, like, you see this first bullet point, if there's older clients that you have, there's older people in your community, is there a way you can be there for them and help them and truly help them? And it might not just be the older clients, but there's a need there, and they're not going out to the grocery stores or whatever it is. And obviously you want to keep the social distancing and, no contact drop-offs and stuff like that. But it's looking for ways to bring humanity back in and really bring the community together.
The local restaurant one is so powerful right now. There's so many restaurants that are struggling, that are closing down.
Oh yeah, man.
We know of local ones around here. They're doing GoFundMe pages just to stay afloat, and the patrons, the people that love those restaurants, they're obviously helping them out. But being the agent, being the local business professional that has helped the small businesses in the community during this time by bringing exposure. Let's say that they do have a GoFundMe page. Make sure that you're also getting involved with that and sharing that with your audience. Because those things, whenever this thing comes out again, when we're on the other side of it, you're going to be the one that helped that restaurant during this time.
Yeah, I'm seeing this where some of the agents that I'm coaching are literally finding the restaurants in their town that are trying to do unique things and posting about them, and literally saying, hey, this restaurant is selling now toilet paper and supplies if you want to stop by and get supplies from them. Just as well, I have a good friend of mine that owns a bunch of restaurants, and he had to lay all of his people off, meaning like furlough them all, and it's heartbroken. Meaning like, so there's a big opportunity to step in as the community advocate right now for all of the local businesses, and think about your digital advertising that you're doing through us. And is there a way to talk about the local businesses in your community? Is there a way to feature them in your next magazine? Like that type of idea that really gives back to your community and supports them and everything like that, because they're going to remember this.
And make sure to hashtag it hangry, because that's great. I think we're all a little hangry these days.
So let's open it up to questions. Yeah, let's get some. I know you guys probably have questions. We probably won't be able to answer them all, but obviously you do have marketing coaches and stuff that you can also talk to, and then you can always reach out to Josh and I at Stay Paid Podcast, at Luke Acree, at ReminderMedia. Any of those you can reach out. We try to get back to everybody.
Yeah, so we do have someone on that subject, Luke. Joanna is asking, you keep mentioning marketing coaches. How can I find out who mine is?
That's awesome. So here's what you can do. There's a couple of easy ways to do it. One is, if you like talking to people, call into our number, which is 610-878-5000, and they'll look you up real quick and get you over to your marketing coach. Or if you don't want to take the time to call, there's a chat box in your interface. So that interface that Josh was in, that account interface, I think it's down in the right-hand corner. There's a little chat box there. You can literally chat in, and they will get you to your marketing coach. We can even set up a time where that person can talk to you if you need help walking through the social media stuff. And even if you just need help in understanding, how do I follow up right now? I read that testimonial from that person that emailed me about the magazine. If you're wondering, how do I make those calls? They can point you, they can help you and coach you right then, but they can point you to resources too that you can use on your own to help you make those calls, like the follow-up scripts and stuff like that. So it's a great question.
So we have someone asking, if you didn't offer the local event options for our area, can we sign up to receive the emails just for the duration of this pandemic? So that's a great question. Just so everyone is aware, whenever we launched local events, we launched in 100 markets. We actually were in the process of spinning up 35 new markets when this whole thing happened. So there are some people that weren't in the areas that we had, or in the markets that we had local event content for. You can sign up for that now during this time when we've shifted from the local events back to the content. And I promise you, I won't make any promises on when, because we've gotten in trouble doing this before, Luke and I have, but I promise you, we will have an option that will continue beyond the pandemic for these content, these branded blog posts for email marketing. We've gotten such an amazing response from that. I actually saved all the emails and sent about 5 or 6 of them out to the company just based on the feedback that we've gotten. So people really like them. So you can sign up for it right now. It is $39.99 for that product. If you're doing the digital marketing bundle, it's $59.99. You get the digital edition, local content, and you get social media shares, which leads me to another question, because we do have some people asking if we already have the bundle, or if we already have this, are you reimbursing us? Which is a great question. If you are using the digital marketing bundle, you already have social media shares premium for free. So that's baked into the price of the marketing bundle as an incentive for you guys who are using that complete bundle. If you were paying for social media shares premium previously by itself, which is $19.99, you should have already received a reimbursement. So if you haven't gotten that, make sure to contact your rep or chat us in, and we will go in and take care of that for you. So I hope that answered your question.
Let me have social media shares premium, just to make sure that's clear right now for until May 31st.
Live until May 31st. It will not auto renew. We will be sending out some emails. Yeah, we will be sending out some emails and communication before the time. If you do want to continue, like we said, we hope you see the value. This is another product that we are adding a ton of new features to. This is not kind of we put it up and it's done. This is something that we're continuously adding features to. We have a lot of really cool stuff planned for it. Let's see. So I know someone asked about how often to post. So I wanted you to answer that one. Now I'm kind of losing some of them. We got a lot coming in.
But the question is, how often do you post?
Yeah, the question was, I mean, I had a couple of them, but the main one was, yeah, here we go. This one's more specific. Anne asked, how frequently do you think we should post / text / email our SOI? Is there a point that it's too much?
So, I mean, I think the point that it's too much is if there's not value there that you're doing. But if I were you, I would be sending out at least an email once a week to your SOI with updates. And I think about my relationships that I have right now and my banker relationship, my accounting relationship. I'm getting so many emails and stuff like from them, but I want those emails. Like I want to know what's going on. So I would at least encourage you to be hitting people at least once a week with some updates that you're seeing, right? And then also sharing the content at the very least. And the way I'm envisioning this is that my hope and my prayer is that by mid-May, June, we're starting to see that we've beaten this thing and we're starting to come back a little bit. So that will hopefully, at least enhance, people being able to get together face-to-face more. So that's my hope and prayer, but you never know. And so until that time frame, your goal should at the very least be able to hit people twice throughout that. A lot of you have different size databases. Like we had an agent we were talking to just the other day, it's 20,000 people in their database versus someone, that's 60 people or 100 people in their database. So a little bit is that going to be dictated by how many people you have in your database. But my goal would be to personally reach out to at least those people twice from the standpoint of a interaction that's more personal. So it's a phone call. You should call everybody at least once in your database, at least once to check in on them, leave a voicemail if they don't answer, make sure you state who you are so they make sure they know that you called them. And then think about a personal connection to a text message, a DM on, Facebook or a message on their wall. And then when you correlate, okay, I have 2 touch points that I might do until June, that's more personal that way. And then I have all the branding, value-driven touch points, which are I'm posting every day on my Facebook page. I'm posting on my stories. I have my American Lifestyle magazine hitting in May. Whatever those touch points are. I didn't even mention that you could, if you wanted to get postcards out, we have postcards being created right now for COVID-19. So stuff like there that would be non-salesy, but more, educational care driven for COVID-19 that you could hit people with. But you have all that side that you're doing, and then you have 2 personal touches from now until June would be the goal that I would reach out and try to do for you in your database right now.
We have, first of all, Douglas Klein says, there is huge value upgraded the second you announced it a month or two ago. I'm assuming he's talking about local content and social media, and the return is huge. Right now, we need content and varied, valuable content like this, and this stuff works. Thank you so much, Douglas.
Awesome.
I was looking for I was looking for some of our resources. We do have someone saying, do you have webinars or YouTube videos as how-to instruction on how to use the features you offer? And right here on your resources page within your account manager, we have all of our past webinars recorded. You can also, and I would encourage you to go follow, subscribe to our YouTube channel. And I had that pulled up here earlier, but if you go to youtube.com/ReminderMedia, on our YouTube channel, we have tons of training. So there's a couple different types of videos to look for. One of the ones that's very training focused is this series called Put a Pin in It, right? So these are tutorials, and the Put a Pin in It's kind of like a play off of our logo, since our logo is a pin, and you put a pin in something when you're done with it. So this is to teach you how to do something and have it done. But there's tons of content on here we walk you through the exact steps on how to go live on Facebook, how to share content on social media, how to navigate the cold calling training set, because that's a training set that we provide to everybody. So YouTube is really a great resource. If you subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit that bell icon, which you hear in about every YouTube video ever. It'll actually notify you whenever we have a new video available. So we have our podcast up there, we have our past webinars up there, and then we have these training videos up there as well.
That's a great point. I would also tell you guys when because I didn't answer this part of the question with social media posting, we've gone back and forth on this of like, how many times should you post a day? Well, I think we asked Tom Ferry this question too. He upped his posting to 4 times, I think, a day is what he said. And he saw the big increase when he did that. So, you know, I've heard Grant Cardone as well. These are some of the big gurus of, you know, social media. They have tons and tons of followers. You know, they're posting 4 or more. I think Grant Cardone's up to like he says, sometimes 8 times a day he's posting. What I would say to you is that on Instagram, it's way more important you do stories now. I mean, I would be posting, you know, a ton, but it's way more important that you do stories now, because that's where people are spending their time. On Facebook, if you have a business page, you know, business page is just not getting favored as much if you don't boost the post. So we're going to have a training coming up on Facebook marketing. So to tease that a little bit, when is that, Josh? Do you know that it's May, right?
I believe it's April 16th.
Or April 16th. Okay. So you know,
maybe Jesse can text me in and correct me though.
Yeah, we'll get you the dates on that. But we're going to teach you how to, you know, a couple different ads, how to boost those on Facebook. And, you know, from the idea of a branding ad to a lead generation type ad, direct response type ad. So we're going to teach you some of those tips that you can use, and so you can follow that along. But, you know, the 2 rules I would look at is, one is I would be posting at least maybe 4 times a day on your Facebook page, but more importantly, using your stories across the board. But the second rule that I would really apply is that, and I've talked to a lot of people about this, the 80-20 rule of 80% of your content being more just lifestyle, authentic based content. Especially think about it this way. You're going through something right now with your business. Share that story. Document that story. That's the type of content people are looking for. Like, what's going on with your business right now? And are you nervous? Are you scared? What are you doing to adapt? Like for us, Josh and I had to get 200 plus people working from home literally overnight. That was very difficult. But people want to know about that story. Like, what are you doing? How are you shifting? You know, how is this affecting your business? And because they want to come alongside you and get to know you, and they want to watch you in how you respond to things. Like, what's your personality? What are the things that make you tick, that draw you in? 80% of the content you should share should be stuff like recipe stuff, fitness tips, your journey, your story. Then 20% is more like your business. So that's the listings that you put up on the market. That's maybe a market update, something directly about your business and the transaction side per se of your business. Because if you do more authentic content, lifestyle-based content, that type of stuff for your audience, you'll build that know, like, and trust aspect, and you'll get that really know and like portion of that, to where now when they see your transaction-based content, they're way more likely to engage with it and see it.
So we have a couple more questions, but I want to make sure that we show this before, because we've gone over an hour, which I'm fine with, Luke. I don't know if you want to keep tackling questions of people on
Yep.
want to keep having us get to your questions, just chat in, let us know. But I wanted to show you this resource page right here will be going out after the webinar. Probably, like I said, once the webinar gets processed, because we want you to have a replay of that. So we'll be sending that out. But I just wanted to point you to the resources because a couple people said that calendar, that spreadsheet that I showed is really cool. That's right here on this page. We also email these out every month if you're on the if you're in the social media shares program, or if you're in the digital edition that have captions for that month. So if you're on American Lifestyle, you would just click this, which will download, will take you to this social shares scheduler page, and then you can download the April posting scheduler. You can also see a content idea calendar, which is pretty cool. If you're sitting there trying to come up with some ideas on what to post and you can't think of anything, which seems to be the hardest part about social media, is coming up with something to post. This is an inspirational sheet that you can use that just has a list of posts that you can do each day. So a client testimonial, share a recipe, spotlight a local business, maybe do a live video Q&A, post a home blog, interview one of the business partners that you work with, spotlight your pet or a family member.
That is a great idea that all of you should do here on the education side. Is you all have a lender, a mortgage professional, you should all plan to do a Facebook Live with them, or something where you can get them to, on Instagram, you can get them to join your Instagram Live and stuff like that, and you should interview them. Because then you could take that content, reshare that content, send that content out in an email and repurpose it. So all of you should plan to do that. So you should start communicating with your mortgage person now to say, hey, I want to do this, and we can do it together. And then you can hit both of your databases. They're going to want to send it out to their database, and you send it out to yours, and all of a sudden you got this cross-pollination of lead generation happening.
We've also, to note, we've also created a COVID-19 sample letter to use with your magazine. So right here on this page that we're sending out, we'll also have a sample letter that you can use. We've had some clients asking us for that. Now, make sure you're paying attention to the delivery dates, because the magazine obviously takes longer to get out to people than a social media post. So make sure that you're checking your delivery dates to make sure that would make sense. But that's a sample letter that our team has written that you can use during the crisis if you would like that as well.
There was one person that asked, should you post on your personal page, business page, or both? I would say both. Both. Actually, post on your business page, share it from your personal page, so you get traction that way too, because it shows engagement for Facebook's algorithm and all that good stuff.
Diane Davidson said, I just joined TikTok yesterday. My office is having a contest for us agents to be creative. All right, there we go. Our social media team. We're going to have to get on TikTok soon.
Jackie said, what does FORD stand for?
Yep.
It stands for family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. And like a good, if you follow Stephen Covey in his 7 habits, he talks about sharpening the saw. So one of the habits you want to do is sharpen the saw as a leader and a business person, all that good stuff. Sharpen your database, meaning like go through your database and do you know Josh's family, his recreation, meaning his hobbies, what is he into? Do you know what he does for work? Do you know what Josh's dreams are? Where does Josh want to go? Because when you know those things about a person, you have a relationship with that person. And it becomes deeper than just a surface level transaction thing. And that will translate to your communication, to the marketing you do. I mean, the most powerful marketing is the marketing that's literally you walk into the gym, and you go, hey, I'm going to text Josh, because I know Josh works out all the time, and I'm going to shoot him this link, say, hey, Josh, man, thinking about you this morning. Hope you're doing well. Here's a workout tip I'm about to do in the gym, man. We should work out together soon. That is the most powerful type of marketing in this type of business, because it's a relationship-driven business. This is a business where it's a big dollar amount that you're getting from a commission. People move every 7-10 years type idea. So the people who are going to win are the ones who build the relationships with people. And shooting a video, Sean Carpenter, who's a coach in the industry that we interviewed, shoots Josh and I video text messages every so often, whether it's about a football team that we like or something that he's done. And it's powerful. Like, it gets Josh and I to respond. It keeps him fresh. Guess what? I've mentioned Sean Carpenter so many times for free advertising for him on my webinars, because he's been doing stuff like that. And that's the most powerful thing about content marketing and doing these type of things and understanding the FORD method.
Ja is asking, are you saying text a recipe or the entire magazine? So you can do both. You can text, you can go to an individual article or an individual recipe, and you can share directly from that, and it's going to just go straight to that recipe, or you can share the entire magazine by using it from the main page of your magazine, of the digital magazine.
Looks like
yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, it looks like Kathy just asked, what items are free for those with just American Lifestyle Magazine? Right now, Kathy, what's free is the social media shares premium. So, you know, Josh, if you want to scroll down and hit social media shares premium again so she can see. But if you social media shares, the premium version is now free for all of you right now to use. And that's where it's the branded blog posts and all that good stuff. So everybody, all of our clients, we gave that to them to help during this time. So start sharing. I want to see posts galore out there. I want to see people taking action. I want to see them using this to DM and connect.
Julie asked, is the digital magazine completely different from the magazine that is mailed? And what is the cost for the digital edition if you send the paper magazine?
So the digital edition is not completely different from the one that's mailed. There's sometimes unique content in the digital edition that comes out, but it goes out every month. The main difference is we kind of split it in half. That's the main difference, is that it's not going to be the full print magazine that goes out. And we make it way more interactive. So there's going to be things like videos in there. Sometimes we do things like quizzes and games and stuff. It's not always we do that, but we try to make it a lot more interactive digitally so people can connect with it and it becomes more entertaining and kind of sucks people in. So it goes out every month and it's not exactly the same, but it's mostly the same as your print magazine. Tweaked to be more consumer.
It's more interactive. Yeah, there is exclusive content in the digital edition that is not in the print magazine. And then there is some shared content where we just add more interactive features to the articles that appeared in the digital magazine. Couple people asking about the ability to schedule posts directly from our website or schedule posts ahead of time. If you use Facebook's scheduler, you can schedule posts ahead of time. So if you want to block out half an hour and just bang through that Excel document and get all of your captions and all of your posts done, you can do that. You can also use other software that will allow you to schedule posts. That is the next thing that we are adding to that product though. So that's where we're going to continue adding new features. The very next thing that we are adding to that product will be the ability to schedule from our interface. And then ultimately the hope is, and again, I'm going to get myself in trouble with our software teams, but my ultimate hope where we want to go is it's going to automatically post for you. Okay. So that would be where we're hoping to go with that product.
I just see someone emailed or chatted in, I'm overloaded with what you are giving us. And so I hope that's a good overloaded, not a bad overloaded. But
good.
If bad overloaded, just know that everything we walked through today is recorded. You can rewatch it, but if you don't want to have to rewatch it, right, because you don't have a lot of time, your marketing coach will help you do this one-on-one with you if you need that type of help. So just like I said, when you get your interface, if you look down at the right-hand corner, there's chat us. You can chat somebody and they can help you and give you just little quick tips there. There's a lot of resources in the resource library that you can go to as well. So just the only thing I ask is that the whole staff is trying to get up and working from home effectively, which I think is happening effectively, but it's been a little bit of a challenge for us. So I know our wait times have been a little longer than usual. So apologize about that, but try the chat feature if you're maybe waiting a little too long on the phone.
Ashley is asking, where are the ebooks and webinars? I haven't seen those. So once again, on your interface, if you go down to the resources link, you can find all of our ebooks, success guides. So the ebooks is the first tab. We have, let's see, 2 pages of those, so 22 ebooks up there. Success guides are the hardest thing to say, but they're also the most, they're tailored to the product itself, right? So a lot of this is going to be very, very specific to the digital edition, creative services that you have available to you, the power of social media. So it's a little bit more product focused. You have all of the printables. The value of getting them from your interface is they're not gated. So what I mean by that is you don't have to fill out a form to get it. If you were to go to our website and get some of these, you're having to fill out your information to download it. For here, you click the link, it's going to take you to a page where you can download straight from because you're logged into our interface. We have some training pieces up here, and then we have all of our past webinars as well. So this webinar will be going up here on this page that you can watch within your interface.
Awesome. All right, I think we'll wrap it up there. I know we have more questions and stuff, but just being respectful of all you guys' time to really.
Yeah, we appreciate everybody staying on.
Jumped on. Appreciate all of you guys so much for being clients of ours, for supporting us, and I obviously we want to try to support you and give you more ways to connect with your clients. Josh and I are passionate about creating and rewarding action takers. You know, the more and more we've done this, the more and more we've been able to. I mean, we've had the privilege to talk with the best in the industry, to people who are just getting started, and we just keep coming back to the common denominator. And most of the people who win are the ones who take action, are the ones who literally don't try to reinvent the wheel. You know, success, as Tony Robbins always teaches, leaves clues. So it's not something that you have to go out there and reinvent real estate all on your own. There's successful principles out there, but you have to take action on them. So everything you're hearing today, my only ask is that you would start sharing, that you would start connecting with your clients, that you would reach out, show them you care, educate them, and then go ask them for referrals. Because when you do that, that's when you're going to see your business grow. That's when you're going to be able to get yourself off of this roller coaster of the ups and downs, because you're going to start building a business that is replicatable, that you can do day in and day out, and you know the results you're going to generate from building relationships. That's my ask, and I appreciate all of you guys so much. Josh, I don't know if you have anything to say.
Yep, I'm gonna say something before you do your tagline. I was hoping to jump in there before you do the close.
Yeah, I always will give you a chance to talk, my man.
Actually, our brand content manager chatted into me. We want you guys to. We want to start doing these more often. Okay, we started doing them a little bit, and then we kind of fell off. And Luke and I are both been convicted recently in terms of the impact that some of this stuff was having. Like we're hearing that more and more as when we were going to conferences before all the conferences were canceled. You know, people were coming up to Luke and even saying like, "Hey, why'd you stop doing the Facebook Lives or the training videos?" So this is something that we want to start doing every month. We want to bring you guys a new resource, a new webinar that we can present that will help you in your business and help you ultimately close more deals and retain more business. So please let us know what you would like to learn about, whether it's product focused or it's general marketing or general sales focused, how to use the tools better. That's going to guide our actions. Okay. So if we're not hearing from you, we're going to be doing what we think you want. But if we are hearing from you, we will put together the resources to give you what you need to be more successful with the tools and what you need just to be more successful in your business.
Next webinar coming up is the Facebook webinar. So we're going to teach
16th, I verified.
We're going to teach you guys how to do some Facebook advertising, how you can do it on your own. We're going to walk you through probably the interface, show you how to set it up. We're actually give you kind of an idea. We're testing things. So we're constantly testing here at ReminderMedia. We spend a lot of time, energy, and money on testing things with agents out there. And so we're testing ads right now. We're running things to make sure that, hey, what we're bringing to you actually is working. And so we're going to walk you through setting up Facebook ads. I believe that's April 16th, but we'll get you the dates for that. So make sure you tune into that. Here's our tagline we close the podcast with. We're going to close the webinar with is the difference between top producers and mediocre producers. We've had the privilege of working in 160 industries, have used our products that we've worked with, that we've coached. Every single industry. The top producers take action. So take action on something you've heard, put it into action, start connecting, and watch your business thrive. Thank you guys so much for joining, and look for the recording coming your way.
Thank you.